The 5th Indian Ocean Conference got underway last evening in Abu Dhabi, in UAE under the theme Ecology, Economy and Epidemic. Attended by representatives from over 40 countries, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa made the inaugural speech at the conference in his capacity as the chair of the organizing committee. In his opening remarks, the president highlighted the need for wealthy nations to support low-income countries to overcome the economic hardships brought on by the global pandemic.
Many developing nations, including Sri Lanka, now find themselves in a very difficult situation. Countries that had taken on significant external debt to fund their development programs are particularly badly affected, with very little reserves available to meet debt repayment obligations. Sadly, in contrast to the leadership provided by the WHO for the global pandemic response, no world institution has stepped forward to help countries navigate their economic recovery. Intergovernmental groups, regional blocs, multilateral organizations, and individual countries that could have assumed such a role on behalf of the global economy have not done so. This is unfortunate. It would therefore be greatly appreciated if more action could be taken by wealthy nations as well as multilateral organizations to restructure or grant moratoria for the debt repayments of poorer countries struggling in the wake of the pandemic.
Further, President Gotabaya also called on the nations in the Indian Ocean region to establish a regional mechanism to coordinate issues related to the region's sustainability.
Controls also need to be imposed on overfishing and ecologically damaging practices. Extraterritorial fishing by well-equipped trawlers is another significant problem in the region that affects the livelihoods of poor communities that rely on local fishing for their sustenance. Coordinated action to mitigate such issues will be critical in sustaining the overall ecology and the viability of local economies in the Indian Ocean region in the future. I therefore propose the establishment of a regional mechanism to coordinate such issues relating to sustainability. As Sri Lanka's experience with the devastating Easter Sunday attacks has shown, this problem too is not one that can be contained to any specific locality. Extremist and terrorist ideology can spread with ease from nation to nation unless carefully monitored and suppressed. The only way to do this is through intelligence sharing and other forms of intergovernmental action. I am confident that with greater international cooperation, countries in our region will be able to better withstand all the challenges that they face in terms of ecology, economy, and epidemics.
In the meantime, member of the organizing committee, former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe addressed the plenary session of the conference today. His focal point was the growth potential of the Indian Ocean region.
We have to address the lack of complementary among our regional economies to bring about economic cooperation and trade integration. The IOR is the least trade integrated region in the world. Diverse economic cooperation structures will require multi-layered regionalism. India will become the second largest global economy, while Bangladesh and Pakistan will also be leading economies by 2050. Without a trade agreement covering this sub-region, there can be no meaningful economic cooperation in the IOR. Establishing a regional architecture to promote regional agenda to address intersecting challenges of the IOR's economic cooperation, climate action, geopolitical security, and now the global pandemic must be our priority. A regional agenda which includes the following points. 1. UN General Assembly discussions on COVID-19 to be continued to reach an agreement on a common agenda and a protocol for the mitigation of pandemic at global and national level. B. Negotiations with the IMF to provide additional fiscal space for heavily indebted regional economies. 3. A demand for action to immediately establish a US $1 trillion climate change fund. A formulation of a two-pronged approach to address decarbonization by accelerating decarbonization both on the basis of per capita income emissions as well as countrywide emissions. The IOR regional agenda must be strong enough to ensure stability in the Indian Ocean by preventing militarization.
Pocket ticket fit when a new Axe ticket perfume.